Hello, folks. Ryonokage33 here. Going live at you with we're calling Unaudible because, as the title says, Twitch now mutes the music from Kingdom Hearts sporadically. Don't worry, I'm still going to do something with Kingdom Hearts. It's going to go up to YouTube as weekly vids eventually because I just kind of was. This week was exhausting for me. My day job is its toll on me. So, yeah, I know we just did Pokemon, and to be fair, this was next on my list, and I was going to take a break. But I just decided, you know what? I'm just going to do it and get it over with because this gives me the motivation to play this game. So, anyway, here we go. This is Pokemon Shining Pearl, the remake of the Sinnoh games. In several of the worst ways possible. I will explain it why I am annoyed by certain things. And we will be doing something a little different. The team might be a little bit well, it's going to be very different after the 8th gym leader. There's a reason. So anyway, let's get into it. Hello, it's very nice to meet you. Welcome to the world of Pokemon. My name is Rowan. However, everyone just calls me the Pokemon Professor. Isn't every Pokemon Professor the Pokemon Professor? This world is widely inhabited by creatures known as Pokemon. Taunt you with a Pokemon you won't be able to get under normal circumstances. We humans live alongside Pokemon as friends. At times we play together, and at other times we work together. Some people use their Pokemon to battle and develop closer bonds with them. What do? I conduct research, so that we may learn more about Pokemon. Now why don't you tell me a bit about yourself? Okay, so... Wait a second. Yeah. The character that I want to play as is rather plain Jane anyway. This is going to be named after a, like I said, I have like a Pokemon RP going with a friend of mine, and this character becomes the champion of Sinnoh, and once we get there, past the 8th gym leader, his team is going to reflect what he would have as defending reigning champion. Your name is Drew. Okay, so you're Drew. A fine name, that is. Now this boy here, I believe he's your friend. What might his name be? You know, it's a shame that his default name isn't here, and I'm just going to give him his default name just for playing reasons. His default name is Barry. Barry, is it? That's your friend's name? Alright, Drew, the time has come. Your very own tale of grand adventure is about to unfold. On your journey, you will meet countless Pokemon and people. I'm sure that along the way you will discover many things, perhaps even something about yourself. Now go on and leap into the world of Pokemon. Yes, I'm using official dub voices as much as I can. Despite the exploration team's best efforts, the rare, oddly colored Pokemon elude detection. The rumored red Gyarados failed to appear, even fleetingly, to the crestfallen team. That's because you're searching the Lake of Rage after the fact in Johto, folks. So there is no more red Gyarados. That concludes our special report, Search for the Red Gyarados, brought to you by Jubilife TV on Nationwide Net. See you next week, same time, same channel. Hey, that's my line. So, unfortunately, it doesn't. That's a very beautiful background, I gotta admit. Nice detail. It's been a while since I watched the Sinnoh series, so I don't really remember Johanna's voice that well. Drew, Barry came calling for you a little while ago. I don't know what it was about, but he said it was an emergency. Here we are, it's the Contest Digest. The star of the show in today's normal rank cleverness contest is Wesley, who won with his particularly well-groomed Pokemon. That's all the time we have today. Let us meet again. Okay, let's speed up the text, because ain't nobody got time for that. I'll use the window I always used back in the day. I like that old classic feel. Okay, no autosave. Turn the gyroscope because we don't have a controller that really has that. Oh yes, true. Don't go into tall grass. Wild Pokemon might attack you. It would be okay if you had your own Pokemon, but you don't, so... I mean, at least in this game you still can. Okay, I also have a confession. A couple confessions. One, there won't be any special events aside from one, because the event window for those is closed, unfortunately. And the second thing that I will be doing, excuse me a second. The other thing, too, is we will be coin flipping for the Pokemon chores, because I'll let you all know the water type starter is not particularly useful, because there are way better candidates than it, but we'll get there in a moment. What was that about? Oh hey Drew, I'm going to the lake, you should come too and be quick about it. Okay Drew, I'm finding you 1 million Poke if you're late. Oh geez, forgot something. I love the detail, by the way, how tired Barry's mother looks. I better take my bag and guidebook too. Oh hey! We're going to the lake. Are we waiting on the road? It's a $10 million fine if you're late. Yep. That's the name of this character. I love how it actually looks like a legitimate weather forecast. That's attention to detail. He takes after his father, but we'll get there. Hey, you saw the news report that was on TV, right? You know the search for the Red Gyarados? The mysterious appearance of the furious Pokemon in a lake? That show got me to thinking. I'll bet our local lake has a Pokemon like that in it too. So that's what we're going to do. We'll go find a Pokemon like that. So there is some like minor flavor text with the NPCs if you have them follow you. Hey, if we run into a Pokemon, I'm going to catch it somehow because I'm going to be a Pokemon trainer. You know what a trainer does, right? How they have Pokemon battles and all that? Pokemon all have different moves, huh? Trainers help their Pokemon in battle by telling them which moves to use. It's so awesomely cool. I want a Pokemon of my own and soon. That way I'd be able to go anywhere I want with it. That lake has an elusive Pokemon living in it. Everyone says nothing lives there, but I know I'm right. And a route. Here's the thing. The Sinnoh routes have amazing music. There's no way to be around the bush. Anyway, moving on. Alright, to the lake. Let's find us a red Gyarados. What's going on? Professor, there isn't anything out of the ordinary on the other side either. I may have been mistaken. Something appears to be different than it was before, but fine. It's enough that we've seen the lake. Dawn, we're leaving. Professor, how are you enjoying being back in Sinnoh? After being away for 4 years, it must be exciting again. There is one thing I can say. There are many rare kinds of Pokemon in Sinnoh. The region should serve us very well in regard to our studies. Excuse us. Let us pass, please. I beg your pardon. We'll be on our way. What was that about? Those two. Huh? Sure, let's go check this out. What's that? Don't go into the tall grass? No problem, no problem. We won't be in there long enough for a wild Pokemon to come out. Famous last words. It's a briefcase? Those people forgot it here. What are we supposed to do with it? We can try to return it, but who were they? I heard them say Professor. Wow, Pokemon? What's going on? Okay, I'll be real with you here. The Sinnoh starters are kinda meh. That's the best way I can describe them. Unfortunately, as popular as of an idea that Piplup is, it's not the one I'm going with because the water starter, there are so many different water Pokemon that are just miles better than Piplup in its evolutionary line. The typing is good, being water steel, but that's about all it has going for it. I actually don't recommend this. Chimchar is the second in the line of the fire-fighting starters. However, unlike Blaziken, it is faster than Blaziken. It hits about the same power-wise. I believe it has a higher physical attack, so it actually does take good advantage of its firefighting typing. And then Turtwig is a very interesting one. It's not very fast, and its final evolution is Grass Ground. Unfortunately, that means it has a quad weakness to ice types, but as a result, this Pokemon also naturally learns Earthquake. So it's a very good choice in that regard too. So I'm going to flip a coin. This is going to determine a few things. Our starter, Heads, is going to... So I've decided. Heads will be Turtwig, Tails will be Chimchar. And that's what we're going to roll with. Turtwig it is, and land on Heads. So let's do it. Now, whenever there's an encounter that starts up like that with it facing your character, that means that it has good IVs, which is irritating because there's no way to capture this Starly. But, there we go. Are we going to do that and try to metagame our way to good Pokemon? No. We're only going to do this for maybe a couple specific things. But we'll get there when we get there. Oh yes, another thing I want to point out. Because this game uses the Diamond and Pearl decks, that means there's only 2 Fire-type families. That seems bad. But this game does something very interesting. But we'll get there. Oh, there's the briefcase. The professor would have been furious if I had lost it. Huh? Oh no! Did you use the Pokemon that were in here? You did? Oh my gosh, what's the professor going to say? That is so not good. I'll take this briefcase for now. What was that about? I don't know what's going on. Let's get out of here. My Pokemon got hurt from that battle. If we get attacked by another Pokemon, we might be in trouble. You go ahead. I know we have to return these Pokemon, they're not ours. But I want to spend just a little more time with this little guy. We didn't have any choice in using those people's Pokemon, right? But these Pokemon belong to them. They'll want them back, won't they? But this is the first Pokemon I've ever battled with. I wish I could grow together with this little guy. I don't feel like talking, let's go. Are we maybe walking slower than when we went to the lake? Hey, it's those people. Is that old guy staring at us? I heard from Dawn that you use our Pokemon. Let me see them, please. Turtwig and Chimchar. I see. That's how it is. Dawn, I'm going back to my lab. Okay, Professor. Please wait for me. I think you should visit our lab later. Okay, see you. What was all that craziness about? You're one to talk. I mean, if he was angry, he could have just yelled at us or whatever. And didn't he want his Pokemon back? We should go home too. What's up, dear? Wow, I can't believe that actually happened to you. Am I ever glad that both you and Barry are unharmed. The professor you mentioned is most likely Professor Rowan of Sandgem Town. I've heard that he is well known for his studies on Pokemon. I hear he's also quite intimidating. Drew, I think you need to visit him in Sandgem Town. You need to properly explain why you had no choice but to use his Pokemon. Don't worry, I'm sure he'll understand. Oh, I know. Put these on. And now we no longer walk. You know, by habit, I still press the B button and hold the B button. Even though it's changed over the years. Gentle, huh? You know, considering what his common weaknesses are, I can live with this. That isn't bad. Strong-willed. I believe that's a high IV in defense? Interesting. Either that or has one in HP. I can't remember. Oh, Bidoof. A Pokemon that was actually vying to be the new mascot. Yes, that's actually a thing. So if you actually come up here, and talk, I think it's here, you'll find a potion. Just one of those little quirks. Now that's probably one of the few hidden items I know about without having to use the dowsing machine. You can get another potion from the smart worker. Excuse me, potions. Oh, there you are. Please come with me. The professor is waiting. This is it, our Pokemon research lab. Let's go. What the? Oh, it's you. That old guy, he's not scary so much as he is totally out there. Ah, it doesn't matter. I'm out of here. See you later. Wow, what was that? Your friend sure seems really impatient. Well, anyway, let's go inside. So if the trumpet was the instrument for Gen 3, then Gen 4's was definitely the piano. Anyway, I wanted to be quiet there and direct a little more attention to the music, because this is the only time you hear this theme that I know of. Finally, you've come. True, was it? Let me see that Pokemon again. I see. This Pokemon seems to be rather happy. Alrighty then. I'll give that Turtwig to you as a gift. Now that it's yours, would you like to give it a nickname? Don't really have anything off the top of my head. Your friend Barry told me what happened at the lake. I heard you battled very well, despite it being your first time. And, from what I can see, there is a growing bond between you and that Pokemon, though it is still young. That's why I would like to entrust you with Turtwig. I'm so glad that you're kind toward Pokemon. If you weren't, I have to... Oh, I just can't say it. Are you quietly a serial killer? Let's move on to the main topic. There is something I want you to do for me. My name is Rowan. I study Pokemon. First of all, I want to know exactly what kinds of Pokemon live in the Sinnoh region. To do so, it is necessary to collect data using the Pokedex. This is what I wish to ask of you. I want to entrust you with this Pokedex. Will you use it to record the data on all the Pokemon in Sinnoh for me? Now, I could stand here without speaking for hours. I'm a very patient man. Let me ask you again. It would just be an endless loop if I keep saying no. Good answer. You didn't give me a choice. The Pokedex is a very high-tech device. We've heard this every single time. Blah, blah, blah. And that doesn't really bear repeating. I've got one too. When you walked up Route 201 with your Pokemon, what did you feel? I've lived for 60 long years. Even now I get a thrill when I'm with a Pokemon. Now, you should know that there are countless Pokemon in this world. That means there are just as many thrills waiting for you out there. Now go! Drew, your grand adventure begins right now. A Pokemon I used for my first time was Piplup, and you know, that's very on point brand for her to have that. If you would have chosen Piplup at the lake, we'd have the same Pokemon now. Not that it matters, but anyways, I'm done. I helped the professor add pages to the Pokedex, so in a sense I'm just like you. I just got a little head start on you, that's all. I'll be happy to teach you things. Glad to meet you. Professor from the Kanto region. Gee, I wonder who that would be. And I'm not going to read this out because it's just the tutorials that we still can't, to this day, skip. And fun fact, she will actually gatekeep you. She'll prevent you from leaving until you go and talk to your mother. What's up? Wow, Professor Owen asked you to do something that big? Okay, dear, go for it. Your mom's got your back. Oh, I know, I've got something that you'll find useful. Which does absolutely nothing. Gee, a journey full of adventure. I envy you, kiddo. Plus, you're not alone. You have your Pokemon with you. I wish I could go instead. I'm just joking. I'll be alright by myself, dear. So you go and enjoy your adventure. When you're exposed to new things and experience new sensations, makes your mother happy too. But please come back sometimes. I'd like to see the kinds of Pokemon you've caught, dear. Excuse me, is my little Barry here? Oh no, he's not. Oh, then he must have left already. What to do? That boy shouted about going on an adventure, then he bolted. He's so headstrong and reckless, I at least wanted him to take this. Not to worry, Drew would deliver that to him. Won't you? Oh really? You do that for me? Take this to Barry for me. Bye-bye, enjoy your adventure. Let me think. Knowing my boy, he would probably head straight to Jubilife City. Okay, please take that to my Barry. You know, I could have honestly gone without the beret, just saying. Yeah, I was never a fan of Lucas's design. At least he's customizable in this game. Not for a while, though, unfortunately. Speaking of customization, let me see if there's anything. I doubt it at this point. But I honestly wonder if there's anything that I can redeem still. Ah, good. At least they changed the moveset up a bit. Because Turtwig is a better physical attacker than is a special attacker. Oh, we'll come back to that. Okay, still don't have Pokeballs yet. There's not much you can do on this route yet. Well, that's why it's called Sand Gem Town. And you know how we feel about sand in these parts. Oh, that's right. I would show you how. And then another tutorial that we still can't, to this day, can't skip over. I'm joking, of course. In Sword and Shield, they gave you the option to skip over entirely. Scarlet and Violet, you are the capture tutorial. See, isn't it neat? Actually, it's better to lower your target's HP more than I did. It's important to get the Pokemon's HP down as low as possible. Healthy Pokemon is very difficult to catch. Yeah. We've heard this over and over again. Okay, there is a Pokemon on this route that I am looking for. I mean, yeah, that's a start. I mean, it's only the best early route bird in the series. At least now it is. Reason I say that is because while Talonflame was amazing in its heyday, the nerf to its hidden ability makes it a little less desirable than it once was. Well, no, that's not the setting I wanted. Actually, is there a way to... No, you can't move it around. Darn. Okay, you any good? Ew. No you're not. Attack lowering nature? No thanks. Okay, was that one worth it? A speed lowering nature. Nope. Nope. Okay, I can live with that. I need some more. Oh, they give you 20? Wow, that's generous. Okay. Oh yeah, I was going to check something. No, I don't have the capability to do that. Yeah, it looks like. Oh yeah, that's right. You gotta get at the Jubilac TV station. So yeah, I won't be able to check for a while. Alright. That's how you want it to be. Okay, there's another Pokemon I do want on this route. And there it is, but it has to have the right ability and it has to have the right stat arrangement. And it does not have the right ability, so I'll pass. And time for the first battle. Oh yeah, I guess in the original versions that's correct. You did not have a first battle with Barry for a bit. Because I do remember that in Platinum, you do battle him as soon as you essentially get your Pokemon. I guess that wasn't the case in this game, right? The original Diamond and Pearl is such a blur to me. I'll be fair with you. And while, yes, I did play through this game and beat it, it was kind of a begrudging thing because me, like a lot of the fandom, did not really like this game that much. But I'm willing to give it another shake since we're a year removed from this game's release. It also didn't help that there was a far superior game that overshadowed it. Wait, why am I still... Does everything have attack lowering moves? Aye. You know, while I don't mind running in the story repeatedly, I kind of do at the same time. Just saying. Also, yes, there is a Pokemon that does appear on this route at nighttime only, which, just gotta wait a few more. Wait about half an hour longer and I can find it. Not that it's that good, it's, Kricketot. It's just, you know, your run-of-the-mill early route bug-type Pokemon that, with 2 stages, that's okay for early game, but really falls off as you go on. Too bad there's more of that than we realize. Your Shinx has the ability I want. Okay, now do you have the ability I want? Yes. Okay. It's a bigger Shinx, too. I think size actually does come into play in this game. They've been doing that since the Let's Go games. I don't think they did it in Sword and Shield really that much, but they did it. But they've been doing it ever since. Shinx is a rather decent Pokemon. It's far better now because thanks to the DLC in Scarlet and Violet, we now have new physical electric moves. And neutral nature. Yep, I can live with that. Nods off a lot. What is... I think that's a defense boosting Ivy. Let's see. According to Bulbapedia, nods off a lot. It means it has a high IV and HP. I see. Good perseverance. Defense, not bad. Strong-willed. Special defense. Wow, so this thing's just going to be a special tank now, apparently. Good to know. Hi Drew, are you catching Pokemon? I think you'd feel lots if you were to catch some more. It's called There Are No Other Pokemon That I Particularly Want at this point. Can never remember which ones give you items. Bum, bum, ba, ba, da, ba, ba, bum, bum, ba, da, ba, ba. Well, I love the nighttime version of this theme because it has a lot of saxophone to it. Gives it a nice jazzy feel. What does a GTS do in this game? Global Wonders. Ah, okay, I gotcha. The GTS was an acronym for the Global Trading Station, which is what it was known as years ago. It was useful, but yet not so at the same time, because some people wanted things that were impossible without cheating. Such as, let's see, here's one of the dumb examples I remember. I was looking for a Bagon in one of the black and white games, the one that doesn't have it. I forget which one it was, but anyway, that's not what's important. What is important was they were like, yeah, so you can have this Pokemon, but you have to give me a Born in Unova level 10 Mew. Excuse me? Yeah. That was some of the BS they wanted. Quick Claw. Huh. That's not bad for Turtwig. Sorry, I'm one of those people that can't stand something saying new on menus. Oh, the Poketch. I always love using the Heal Ball to capture certain Pokemon. Like, for example, catching Pokemon like Giratina or Darkrai in a pink Pokeball is hilarious. Oh, well. This will come in handy for a very specific water-type Pokemon. One that everyone knows. Although, I have my sights set on a different water type. But I might as well catch her for the data. Actually, no, I'll reconsider. I can capture Magikarp later anyway. It's actually part of a little joke. Okay, these characters I remember being particularly difficult, so I have to do a little bit of training. I don't know if Barry battles you yet. Hey Jerry, did you come to study too? I went ahead and memorized everything that was up on the blackboard. After all, it's the trainer's job to avoid having their precious Pokemon hurt in battle, right? So Jerry, what brings you here? You got something for me? So what is this? Score! It's a town map. Huh? Why are there two in here? I like it a lot, but I don't need two. Here, Drew, you take one. Well, according to the town map, I guess Orberg is where I should go next. There's a gym, so it'd be perfect for raising the Pokemon I just caught. While I'm on the road to become the greatest Pokemon trainer of all time. See you around. Well, might as well battle the trainers. Because Pokemon of these trainers are packing are actually kind of fearsome for this early in the game. You think I'm joking? No, these actually no hidden power. However, the Quick Claw keeps activating. I'm more than okay with this. Because the downside about Abra is that they're frail. Very frail. Hey. Man, schooling this world would be so interesting. Don't lie. Oh, it doesn't do hidden power in this game. I see. But that can be a problem if that keeps stacking. Yet another reason not to choose Piplup, folks. But yet he hands you over the TMs for it, question mark? Work up. Okay, never mind. Not a bad move, though. All things considered. Everyone knows the trifecta. Between water, grass, and fire. Okay, so the clowns around town, they just give you, go through tutorials that a lot of people already know about. It depends on the game, buddy. Oh yeah, that's right. You can just press a button. So, it has a few interesting features, like a calculator here. This is a pedometer. This just checks the status of your Pokemon. And then, of course, you just get a digital timer, which might actually come in handy, keeping that in the upper right-hand corner. Yeah, not really. And all you do is just hold R and it goes away. This is Pokemon Center. And the town map is what it always is. Just let you know the entire Sinnoh region, which, Sinnoh is probably one of the weirdest shaped regions in Pokemon. But at least it's not completely grid-based like other games are, where the path is extremely linear. Oh yeah, those are honey trees. Right. Tells you where honey trees are. It tells you if they're ready. I don't know what the markers mean exactly. But anyway. Hey Drew, tell me you got a little tougher. Me? Do you even need to ask? Of course I got tougher. Come on, let's battle it out. And I am not a fan of this remake of this theme. They kind of ruined the original energy that it had. Kid, we're the same age, buddy. At least in this game. Well, that did almost nothing. I think this was also the beginning of the... No, that was Gen 5, I think. When they started the whole tackle was a little different. It used to be, I think, 35 base power with 95% accuracy. I think in Gen 5 they changed it to 40 and 100. Which makes more sense, let's be fair. You know, Barry, if you're just going to sit there and do this all day, then, this battle's mine. What just happened? I lost? Wow, what do you mean I lost? Well, that's it. That's the last time I'll ever lose. I'm going to be the world's toughest trainer, and you know it. The first thing to do is to take on the Orberg City Gym. I'm going to toughen up for that, totally. Yeah, sure. There are actually a handful of times where he does become a bit terrifying, but that first battle is not it. Also, I'll be completely fair with you. Fire types are kinda unnecessary once you know what you're doing exactly. Because if you carry around a flying type and a fighting type, then you effectively check everything that fire checks anyway. The only thing it may have an issue with are certain steel types, but that's what the ground type Torterra is for. So we will be going without. So I'll be right back. There's something I want to fix that I failed to do. Oh, that's much better. Let's get the audio out of mono. Because we don't need to be that way now. Hey, officially hit nighttime. Not a special attacker. Hate to burst your bubble. Okay, now, like before, for important battles, I'm going to act like I have set mode on. The box standard trainer battles, it's like I'm just going to keep it on Switch mode. Because who really cares? Oh, you have a Pokemon that can actually do something to the gym. You have a cohesive strategy. Especially with low kick. Seen better, I've seen worse, buddy. Nifty Keen, huh? There's a phrase you don't hear every day. Okay. How did you win a gym badge with that? Also at your levels? How did you win a badge at all? I'd understand that was evolved, but how did you even win a badge at all? I mean, at least you can do something with the next gym, but not so much the first one. I'm impressed that you beat him. You're a little too close. Bad touch, bad touch. That'll come in handy because, has anyone noticed that, since Gen 6, they've made HMs less and less relevant? I do not count Oris, but as time has gone on, now we're at the point where we don't have it at all, but unfortunately it means that, potential dungeons have to suffer as a result. It's why, like, in Sword and Shield, there was, like, no dungeons at all. To be fair, Scarlet and Violet didn't have them either, but with the open world, with it having cave systems anyway, at least they had something. I would say celebrate leaving the cave if it were a bigger cave system. This is just a little path. Sorry, Duck. It's always fun to do that. Total noob. Excuse me? Huh? Oh, it's you, Drew. You finally got here. You're slow like always. You're so slow the gym leader's long gone now. Said he had to go to, oh yeah, the Orberg mine. I got my badge already, so it's no big deal to me, but... Oh yeah, there is one Pokemon that's worth catching for a very specific thing in the Orberg Gate. I'm surprised I didn't have an encounter in here. That's actually interesting. Yep, it's Zubat. Now, because I had used Crobat previously, I'm not going to do it now. But I am going to capture this for just one specific reason. There randomly is a side quest involved with this Pokemon. Oh yes, they gave it Absorb now because they buffed Leech Life. So they had to give it the weakest grass move instead. Not gonna lie, having Leech Life early game would actually be very broken with its buff. It got buffed, I think, from like 15 base damage to 80. What? Yeah, painting's a parody of Starry Night. Those will be your best friend in this game. Dak! Exactly. Yeah, I wasn't going to play this originally. I was going to do Kingdom Hearts, but Twitch has a thing on on Kingdom Hearts now. Forever. They've been using this font, I think, since Diamond and Pearl, I want to say. Because it used to be a little weirder in Ruby. It was smaller in Ruby and Sapphire. No, I think they've been using this text since Emerald or Fire Red Leaf Green. But yeah, that fat guy will give you that item for bringing him a Zubat. I'm never going to use the Zubat. It's just there. It's just caught as a side quest. Okay, so that little trade for an Abra for a Machop, it's actually a pretty decent trade, I'm not gonna lie. It's just, one thing you gotta keep in mind is, like all other games, traded Pokemon will not obey you after a certain point. And this Abra is no exception. Unnecessary use of that. Because Geodude aren't exactly fast. I'm going to capture the Machop just for the sake of being able to get the trade, because under most circumstances, getting an Abra is not exactly the easiest thing to do. But yeah, to answer your question, I think they've been using this font style since either Fire Red, Leaf Green, or Emerald. So that far back. Because Ruby and Sapphire's text was smaller and a little weirder. There's one. And they've been using it ever since, because they'll fix what isn't broken at that point. Oh yeah, I guess I have more than one type of Pokeball now. It was in the other house. Too bad these two aren't evolved, am I right? So this Abra is going to be useful for a good portion of the game until I get to the second town, because that's when we're going to really start being serious about team building. As of right now, you've seen 3 of them. Hey, it's a coal miner town. Who would have guessed? By the way, if you find fossils, this is where you come back to revive them. I think. There's supposed to be a museum in this city. I think it's in the upper right-hand corner. Yeah, it's this building up here. Huh. I never noticed this building before. Oh. Oh, well, thanks. Bum ba da bum 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 ba da 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 da. Oh yeah, here's another hidden item that I know about. Come over to the slag heap over here, and then talk to this corner, I think. Yep. How do I know the name of that stuff? Well, I live in a very coal mining rich state in the US, and that's all I will say. Yeah, that's another thing too. These areas were not made with the diagonal movements in mind. So you'll probably see me do a lot of collision, unfortunately. I can't help it. Oh, that ever has an ore barrier. That's handy. Unfortunately, this game does not have the DS encounters. Oh my word, that was so obnoxious back in the day. Okay, stand back and watch this. Using the hidden move Rock Smash, get rid of the boulder blocking your way. Fallen boulders need to be smashed, so they're out of the way. If you could get the badge from the gym in town, you'll be able to do this too. Of course, you'd have to beat the gym leader first. That'd be me. Be funny to have the obligated lunch break being able to go out and just have a Pokemon battle in the parking lot. Makes me wonder. Oh, Onix. The one Pokemon with attack stat lower than Oddish. Yes, really. Oh, well, that's nice. Well, you know, I'll keep that escape rope for a rainy day. Also, another piece of personality that was removed from this game, where the Machop used to just carry around lumps of coal with them. That's not in this game. Just the small attention to detail that they do not carry on in this game. I also realize that whenever we get to battling Rourke's father, I may end up blowing out my voice. Let's just say that much. I thought it was champ in the making. Also, the trainers are completely optional, of course. But where's the fun in that? Hey, that's better than Leaf Edge. The Geodude fainting almost sounds like my cat. That. Ow? Yeah, steamrolling through a rock-type gym. What else is new? Almost pretty much up until this game, the first gym was a rock-type. Although I'll give Johto some credit because it was flying, but then he did rock-type and then rock-type again. So, I don't understand that. Okay, now... let's go ahead and battle the gym leader. Shouldn't be too difficult. Welcome, this is the Oreburgh Pokemon Gym. I'm Rourke, the gym leader. I'm but one trainer who decided to walk proudly with Rock-type Pokemon. As the gym leader, I need to see your potential as a trainer. And I'll need to see the toughness of the Pokemon that battle with you. This shouldn't be too difficult. No matter which starter you choose, you almost always have an edge here. That can be a problem. Potentially. Or not. Now, if there's a Pokemon worth fearing, it's his ace here, Cranidos. Think you can take down the next Pokemon like you did the other ones? This thing is a monster. It's not very fast, but it hits like a truck. No way, not yet. Not giving up. Of course, it don't matter if you have a Quick Claw. Oh well. Well, this is over. What's with everyone just using Leer until they die? Just why? And I have officially been banned from competitive. Who cares? What? That can't be! My buffed up Pokemon! This is embarrassing. I went and lost to a trainer who didn't even have a single gym badge. Well, screw you too! But that's the story. You were strong and I was weak. That's all there is. According to the Pokemon League rules, I have to give you our gym badge since you've beaten me. The gym leader. Here's your official Pokemon League Coal badge. Well, at least it's consistent. Having that coal badge means you can now use the hidden move Rock Smash from your Poketch. You should also take these too. Each TM76 contains the move Stealth Rock. It's a move that inflicts damage on opponent's Pokemon that switch in the battle. And these are the stickers I use. Here, take some. We'll go over this later. Incidentally, a TM will teach its move to a Pokemon instantly, but a TM will break when you use it, so be certain you want a Pokemon to learn that move. It bothers me that TMs break again. But they're kind of generous this time around. With certain ones. Alright, so now we move on. Whoops! Drew, you got the gym badge, huh? Eterna City is the next place with a gym that gives away badges, right? So yeah, I went to Route 207, but you can't go through it without a bike. I made my team battle and toughen them up, so it wasn't a waste. So I'm going to head back to Jubilife City. Next stop, the Eterna Gym badge. 10 seconds before I dash. 9. Bah, who's got time to count? That's about right. Really? You couldn't let me make it through the cave? I would go down to the basement, but there's really no point right now. So... we may capture a temporary water type, but I don't think we can get it until the next route. Wait, I can't go this way. Alright, you win! Ah, there's that saxophone. Ah, Drew, impeccable timing as always. These miscreants were babbling utter nonsense that I just can't stomach. Show them some manners, if you will. Professor, must you be so difficult? We are approaching you strictly as businessmen. All you must do is provide us with all your research findings. In return, we'll see to it that your system doesn't become collateral damage. Drew, let's battle together and teach these losers a lesson. Time for the token bad guy of the game. As you can see, this is Team Galactic. Now, under most circumstances, It's another example of you can't take, but it's a different example. Yes, they're incompetent, but their leadership are no slouches. The grunts are stupid, but the leadership is not. How is this madness possible? The two of us losing the children? This won't do. Time to retreat. This mission is a failure. Well, they're loaded. You leave us no option. We will retreat for now. Because Team Galactic is benevolent to all, we shall leave. So, they call themselves Team Galactic, do they? When Pokemon evolve, they seem to release some sort of energy. I believe it's a mystical power far beyond our control, but Team Galactic seems to be trying to harness that power for something. Anyway, Drew, well done. You battled quite capably. Seeing you trainers battle side by side with your Pokemon only makes me more confident in my decision to entrust you with a Pokedex. Drew, did you know? The professor studies the evolution of Pokemon too. According to his research, 90% of all Pokemon are somehow tied to evolution. I guess that means some Pokemon must undergo startling evolutions. Magikarp is a prime example. So, Drew, let's keep working on our Pokedex project for the professor. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. Whoa, what was that just now? That was amazing! Those guys looked awfully scary, but you sure showed them. Whew, that was like a breath of fresh air. Anyway, my name's Bebe, and I work as a system administrator in Hearthome City east of here. Now, as thanks for putting on such a good show, I'll let you access Pokemon boxes from anywhere. I'll also give you these ball capsules. You can customize your own capsule decoration by placing stickers on ball capsules. Put stickers on your favorite Pokemon's ball capsule, and it'll look really pretty when it bursts open. Stickers will also give you an edge in the Super Contest shows where I live in Hearthome City, so try to collect a bunch. Anyway, see you later. Yeah, we're definitely going to be doing a lot of that. Also, that is your cue because Jubilife TV opens up now. PokeKids. Here's a new trainer class exclusive to these games. Not really, they've showed up every now and then. I love the detail too that the female PokeKid uses the female Pikachu sprite as well. Oh yeah, this was the era where Pikachu still said its name. It doesn't anymore. They just got rid of that for whatever reason. My theory is they didn't want to keep paying the voice actress royalties. Because, this was also the era when Eevee started having voice acting. And it was just for one generation. There's probably my theory also was there was probably an outcry for more voices for Pokemon. And I think they just decided, we're not going to do that anymore. For whatever reason. Okay, let's pivot. You may not be a ground type yet, but you still resist the electric moves. Like a champ. That doesn't matter, battle's over. Now, Turtwig, I believe, evolves the latest out of the 3 starters. Unless they change it, I don't remember. Of course, Starly evolves to level 14, so that's consistent. Yeah. They didn't change it. Okay. That's a feature we'll use after we beat the 8th gym leader. We'll make it more interesting. Okay, if I recall correctly, that guy used to give you the accessories case. Also, this guy, I believe, gives you he used to give you wallpapers. I think he gives you extra stickers this time around. I don't know if I could ever be an elevator attendant. I think I would get motion sick after a while. Okay, so let's head north. Well, at least they actually can spell it out now. Good old Paralyze Heal. Okay. Start training up a bit more. Excuse me? I may look weak, but I'm not. Oh yeah, I guess I have double intimidators now. I would have had 3 if I caught a Magikarp. Kid, I think your dad hates you. You say your dad gave you some Pokemon. Well, I would demand a refund. I would definitely demand a refund for the Magikarp, but at least the story has potential. But yeah, I'm using at least 2 of the Pokemon that everyone else does in Sinnoh playthroughs. I think Shinx evolves at level 15, though. Poison, yep, does not work like it did back then. I think those are a dime a dozen. A lot of Bidoof helped out. Bidoof was the ultimate HM slave back in the day. Ooh, not bad. Not bad. Not bad at all. At least you don't have to go through the animation over and over again. I think we're going to make it to Floroma Town, then we're going to take a quick break. The gap between gyms 1 and 2 is actually kind of long. Now, it's not as long as gym 2 to 3, though, in this game. In Platinum, the gap between the first and second gym is still the same length, but the gap between the second and third gym is nowhere near as long. Cherubi, eh? First time we get to see this. This is a Honey Tree Pokemon, and that is a mechanic we will not be using. I will explain it when we see our first one. But we're not going to use it. So it got slightly angrier. Always love how it goes from happy-go-lucky to angry to chill in the span of its evolutionary line. I understand though, buddy. Because bug Pokemon are actually pretty good now. One-shot this trainer, huh? You wish. Double Intimidate! Because I can. Okay, switch out to Turtwig, and then just attack one of the Pachirisu. Because I do not think static works on electric Pokemon in this game. Nope. Well, that's a bummer. So I'm going to start using Thunder Shocks. I'm at -4 attack. How do you two one-shot anything unless you're fighting a bunch of fishermen? Ooh, that is not bad for this Pokemon. It doesn't really need speed, plus with the Quick Claw. Yeah, that could potentially be good. It's an okay move. I'm not going to go out of my way to teach it. Alright, we are in Floroma Town. Going to go heal up. Okay, I'm back. Now, new town, time to talk to the NPCs. You never know what you might get. I often have the question, though, which game has one of the largest... I know there's a guy on YouTube that does break it down, but I often wonder which gap is bigger, this one or Gen 6's gap between the first two gyms. So, unfortunately, because the event doesn't work anymore, she speaks of the Gracidia flowers. We're not going to be able to do that. Well, we can't do the event, but there's still a way to do it. Oh, you there. And I gather you've seen a wishing star before. Would you mind taking this Pokemon? I think it'd be perfect for you. Alright, just hand me that, sure. Why, hello there. Looks like you played Let's Go in Kanto before. Okay, just hand me out 2 mythicals, why don't ya? Just as an FYI, we will not be using these 2 because, I don't believe in using legendaries unless I have no other option. Alright, I'll talk to you too. Curse you, memory lapses. You actually get to see that if you play Legends Arceus. Is Pluck a better move? Is Pluck a stronger move than Wing Attack? Because that might actually prove useful. Not the same power, but it can eat a berry. Eh. Wait, did it say something else could learn that? Or is it just... Oh, Zubat. That makes sense. What? No, it doesn't. I guess I had to give it something. Because plucking kind of requires like a beak or a hand or something. I don't know. I guess Zubat could hypothetically do it with his teeth, but I don't know about that. There I go, trying to use logic in a Pokemon game. Yes, we will be also doing that. Like, I will be off screen doing a bunch of things with berries, and there are some daily events that I can do as well. And in order to do that, we're going to need that. Sure, I can always take more berries. Okay, now, I believe you're not as rude as you used to be. So, yeah, she gives stickers based on how many berries that you have. You can just kind of trade up that. That's not a good idea. But, these could be useful. She used to be very rude back then. Getting what you would trade the berries for in the original game were accessories, and the berries that were required to trade with her were outrageous. Like, she would want 50 of those normal berries, which only a few of those maybe grow a day. Well, not even a day, like every other day. So that was not fair. And they were just accessories to dress up your Pokemon in the dressing category in Pokemon contests, which were not that useful. So, Pokemon contests are a thing in this game. We will be doing, at least up to the Master rank. I do actually intend to do that. Help, trainer! Please, can you get my popper for me? He works at the Valley Windworks, but the people dressed in space aliens are mean and won't let me in. Okay, so here at the Valley Windworks, there are a couple Pokemon here worth looking for. This being one of them. Weasel is going to be my temporary water type until I get my water type a bit later on. There is a Pokemon I want, but I don't... And even though I can get it now, I don't want to. Weasel is a prime example of a Pokemon that exemplified the physical special split. It's a physical attacking water type, which is unusual. Okay. Okay, now this right here, this golden tree, this is a honey tree. What you do is you slather it with the honey item, come back after a certain amount of time, and then there may or may not be a Pokemon here. Sometimes you'll get nothing. Good day, sir! Other times it will just be a random Pokemon. However, each honey tree and each area has a rare encounter, and this is why I don't want to do this, because the biggest offender is Munchlax. Munchlax has a 1% encounter rate in 4 specific honey trees, which the game does not tell you which ones they are. It's random every single time. Yeah. And there's only 1% chance that you'll find one. Yeah. Fortunately, in this remake, they have a way to get Munchlax much easier. But we'll get there when we get there. I got orders to keep everyone out if they're not part of Team Galactic. You're giving me a look that makes me think you're going to try to get in. Okay, then you'll have to battle me for it. Isn't that just great, getting owned by some kid? But you can't do a thing if I lock myself in with my works key. That's right, the other work key's not here. My cohorts in the Flower Patch have the only other one. In that sense, I'm no longer the loser. I am going to explain very loudly in the open what my evil plans will be. It's so diabolical. Why do all villains do this? Just... why? It's like you're painting a giant target on your face. Enough arguing. Hand over that sweet honey. Do as we say. Team Galactic will have that honey. We must have it to attract Pokemon in great numbers. Hey, this kid is a witness. What do? We can't have the brat running off to get help. The solution's simple. We must ensure the brat stays quiet. He knows too much. Get him. I mean, are you nuts? I don't envy anyone who would want to play as a Team Galactic run, especially in these games. With the limited Pokedex and all they use are the Wurmple line and Zubat. I mean, Crobat on its own isn't bad, but the Wurmple line is just awful. This is why I'm going to be stuck as a grunt forever. Oh yeah, that's right. It hit level 16. So there's my plan B for the next gym. Not really. Second gym will be starting the team building process. This is so lame. They're going to dock my pay. I'm up next. Battling you right after my cohort has weakened you gives me the edge. Not if you use the same Pokemon, buddy. Zubat, 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 Zubat. Yeah, Intimidate is not as good of an ability as it used to be, but it's better than, like, Shinx's other ability, for example. I don't think the Staraptor line has one, unless it's a hidden ability. If only I had some decent Pokemon. All you have is a Zubat. What were you expecting to accomplish with that? This brat's tough, like really, really tough. Tougher than I can put into words, and I know a lot of words. We're done for now. Let's head back to the Valley Windworks. Oh, what's this thing? They seem to have forgotten it. It's a works key. It must be for the Valley Windworks. It's of no use to me. You may as well have it. Don't you love the Butterfingers of incompetent villains? Look you surely saved me. Those goons were trying to rob me of my sweet, sweet honey. They sure were weird, though. You saw how they dressed. What they were saying didn't make a whole lot of sense either. Oh, I know. Need to thank you. Will you take this as my thanks? Okay. Not in this version. So in Platinum, this house, I believe, will sell you mulch to increase the growth rate or even the amount of berries that your berry trees will grow. There are trade-offs, but some of the trade-offs are negligible. We'll put it that way. One thing that I will mention is that having Chimchar as your starter for the next battle, well, the next boss battle, is actually very good to have. At this point in the game, though, yeah, your next foe is going to be pretty difficult under most circumstances. To Nuzlockers, this boss fight is known as a run killer. What? No way, you have the key? Locking the door was meaningless. I am the loser in this after all. This is no time for self-pity. I've got to alert the commander. I mean, what are you going to do to me? Just sit there and use Harden? Got nothing on special attacks there. You messed up my job. Now I'm not going to get a bonus. Collecting electricity from the Valley Windworks. That's our mission. Also, I want you to pay attention to the background. It changes based on the rank of the galactic member that you're fighting. The grunts here just have this misty background with some stars in it. But it's still cool. I really don't like kids who also happen to be tough trainers. Well, it sucks to be you, doesn't it? Okay. This character here is known as a run killer. I'm one of Team Galactic's 3 commanders. We've been trying to create a new world that's better than this one. But people have shown little understanding about what we do. You don't understand either, do you? It's a little saddening. So let's have a battle to decide what we should do next. If I win, you leave. If you win, we Team Galactic will leave. Commander Mars. Yeah, notice there's 2 planetoids in the background. 3 planetoids in the background now. My bad. Also, the battle theme is a bomb. Now, this Pokemon here is known to end runs for Nuzlockers. This fat cat is very fast and is a very dangerous Pokemon for this early in the game. If you started with Chimchar, you'll have a bigger edge here. Let's get Intimidate off. Ba-ba. Plus, yes, it does have that Oran Berry on it. And now it doesn't matter. This can't be. I lost? You annoying brat. Oops, I messed that one up. That's alright though. I quite enjoyed our battle. I guess it's time to say goodbye and leave for the time being. Team Galactic. They were saying they had to gather Pokemon and energy no matter what. It was for creating a new universe, or so they claimed. Nothing they said made any sort of sense to me. Anyway, I can't tell you how grateful I am to you for saving me. I can finally see my little daughter again. Papa! Yuck, Papa, you're stinky. Go shower now, Stinky. Oh, sorry. They have me working nonstop. Thank you, trainer. You made those bad people go away. I think the balloon Pokemon will come visiting again. So, yeah. In the original version of the game, if, you clear out the Valley Windworks on a certain day, the Drifloon will not spawn, and I believe that carried over into this version. I believe it's Friday, which, well, that's what day it is. So, you have no way to capture this Drifloon until you have to wait a whole nother week. And attempting to trick the clock in the game will actually punish you. Yeah, it's one of those games. Yeah, it didn't spawn, so I think that does carry over. Alright. Okay, so... Oh, hey, good matchup. No water moves, really? What's that about? Ah, right. So, this was before the first batch made it so trade Pokemon up to level 20 would listen to you. It seems that's not the case this time around. It will only listen to you occasionally. Oh. Apparently it was earlier than I remembered. I thought it was 20 when it evolved into Groudle. Well, let's get that orange berry back from you. Seriously, Weasel learns no water moves yet? When does it? If so, it's not going to be particularly useful for me for a while. Learning Endeavor. To be fair, Saravia is not a bad user of the fear strategy, but the problem is it doesn't get there because it has to be level 1 or very low level. If that's the truth, then the Sorley has to be at least level 16, I believe. So the fear strat doesn't work as well as it would. This thing will have absorb, so we're not going to do it. Yep, called it. Yeah, well. Spark. Not bad. Not bad. I like the fact that Lux Ray can be used as a mixed attacker if you want to. It also doesn't help that there's so many trainers along the way. I know they're optional and they could be avoided, but I like battling as much as I can. Yeah, sturdy. Sturdy, sturdy, sturdy. Not that it matters. Sheesh. But we'd known that Weasel would not learn a single water type attack, I would not have bothered. Poison Fang, huh? Not bad. I think this game started the trend of there being healers on every route or something like that. Or at least close. Pip-flap. Pip-flap, pip-flap. Well, looks like that crit was unnecessary, but here we are. A lot of good ones. Finally. Yeesh. Get rid of tackle, because they quick attack do effectively the same thing. Now, I will mention, Budew was on my radar if I did not choose Turtwig. Now there's a Pokemon I definitely was my water type, but not right now. I'm not a fan of this version of it. I don't think anyone really is. My name's Cheryl, and you are? Okay, so your name is Drew. I'm sincerely glad to meet you. Drew, may I ask you a big favor? I want to get through this forest, but I'm afraid of doing it alone. I've heard that there is a sinister group of people called Team Galactic about. I think there will be safety in numbers. Please, may I go with you? Do I have a choice? My Pokemon is an excellent healer, but attacking isn't a strong point. Your battling you makes me feel elated. If I could predict what you're about to do, we could make a fierce combo. Okay, she doesn't say anything else. Ah, the Eternal Forest theme. Never gets old. Ah, the moss-covered rock. Something we can't use! And won't be able to use for quite some time! But that is how you evolve Eevee into Leafeon, but Eevee is kind of hard to find, and it's not in the original Sinnoh Dex for whatever reason. But anyway, yeah, that's a problem. Oh yeah, now we have to have multi-battles. Hey, at least he can do something now. Not much, granted. This Disarming voice is interesting, because that wasn't in the original game. That's one thing that is wholly unique, is that we now have the fairy type. Okay, so with the Pachirisu out of the way, let's have Staravia clean up the bug catcher here. Yeah, not that that really matters. Because there's no target. Now, I remember these two people having Abras, both of them, and that they were fighting type, specifically targeting the Chansey, that's your ally. I don't think that's going to be... I don't know if that's still the case or not. No, they have Energy Ball, which is debatably worse! Also, yes, Burmy are one of those Pokemon that you can get on the honey trees, and they're another prime example of a very bad early game bug type. There's almost no redeeming factors for Burmy. It is... So, its female versions evolve, and its cloak changes based on its location. But that also means that its typing changes with it, which is kind of unique. But those are the female versions only. The male versions evolve into Mothim, which is yet another bug-flying type moth. As if we don't have enough of those already. And there's the other token early round bug type, which is okay now, but it's not as good as it is. It's not as good later. Oh yeah, I forgot to check this weasel. Not that way I go through the trouble again. Set up. Yeah. I mean, I can manage. But, What's its characteristic? Hates to lose. I think that's high physical attack IV, so I can live with that. High special wow, so it's just good for special defenses all around. I see. Cementite and Psyduck, eh? Well, my Luxio needs to get out here. What am I doing? Wow. Hooray me for spacing out. Also, for not using Disarming Voice, that's on you. Of course, if I lose a Pokemon here, well, I was attacking you anyway, so that works. It was my own fault because I wasn't paying attention. Boom. Also, for those of you listening out there, while it's still this way, at least for 2 more hours on the East Coast, happy Groundhog Day! You're the trainer that wastes everyone's time? Yep. With 6 Magikarp. There's always one of these. Whoop-de-doo, I missed. Well, that's not necessary. Hey, spamming the battle. Yay! So one of the fishermen would not value at all. Alright, so I think I have it in me to stream for another hour, and the final hour is going to be, we're going to do some stuff in Eterna City, and then we're going to introduce the concept that is exclusive to this game. Provided my Grotle can hit the broadside of a barn today. We'll see. We shall see. Yep, orange berries. Looks like 2 orange trees, a pecha tree, and a cherry tree. No, not yet. Yep. It's almost as if I'm psychic. Not really. I know I've memorized the berry patterns at this point. Okay, so We're going to start actually planting berries. Plant a chesto. Couple of these pecha berries. And a cherry berry. And then we're going to water. So we just come back after a little while and we'll have some berries. The music is even goofier in this game than it was in the original. Oh. Yeah, that's actually a neat one to have. It's handy because what it will indicate here. It's better if I show you. So your Pokemon just kind of float around this little space, but if you click on them for a long period of time, see, Zubat has no affection, so neither does my Grotle. Well, none of them seem to like me. I see how it is. Fine. Ugh. Fine. Be that way. It's the name. So here's the name raider. Okay. Take a mental note of that. Chatot is a rare Pokemon, at least at this point in the game. But it's another flying normal type that I don't really care for. This trade's actually terrible. I mean, cool. Not that good of a move, but cool. Do you know that Recycle was a move that was teased way back in Gen 1? Because it was a TCG card. All right. Hello. Oh, is this a Pokedex? You must be helping Professor Rowan. What's your name? Oh, okay. Hello, Drew. I'll be sure to remember that name. My name is Cynthia. I'm a trainer like you. I've been studying Pokemon mythology lately, just out of curiosity. Here in Eterna City, there's a statue of an ancient Pokemon. According to myth, it was an extremely powerful Pokemon. Who knows, you may encounter something like it while you're traveling with your Pokedex. Try using these, they should help you on the way. Well, remember, you can use the hidden move cut from your Pokédex in the field. It will let you go places that were previously inaccessible to you. That's important for filling up your Pokédex, right? Then luck be with you, young trainer. No big deal. Just the one of the strongest trainers in the game walking past you. I think this is an herbalist, yeah. Herbal medicine does what it always does. It's not expensive, but it lowers the friendship rating of your Pokemon, which is something you don't really want to do. I can actually translate this. Because, pay attention to this in particular, because this is a fusion of Dialga and Palkia. Palkia, once created, brought forth the many dimensions. All alive, all things alive or not, have arrived at the same space. Such is the blessing of Palkia. The theory is that they rebuilt that and didn't really have a guy to go off of. So that's why it looks like a cross between those two, which they remembered in Infinite Fusion. And the Galactic members don't do anything for you. Alright, that was the herb shop. Okay. So, the mechanic I was talking about involves this house here. Okay, now, this is cool. Now, in the original games, the underground was not that interesting. Aside from digging up specific treasures. This game, they expanded this. Hey Drew, is this your first time here? Welcome to Sinnoh's Grand Underground. This is a network of tunnels, caves, and caverns lying beneath Sinnoh. Huh? What am I doing down in the expanse of a place That's kind of hard to answer. I mean, you can do pretty much anything you want down here. For instance, you can dig up fossils and treasure, or make your own secret base. You should talk to the Underground Man in Eterna City to learn more. Y is the way to go back to the surface. Remember Y. I have to get going now. I'll see you around. Okay, so if you do this, it'll ping and then bring up a dig spot whenever diamonds appear on the map. Now, typically I don't have a ton of patience, so what I normally do is I use the sledgehammer for most circumstances. Nothing there. Okay, now this. These are boxes of statues that you put in your secret base. Unfortunately, secret bases have been largely downgraded in this game. But what those do is, depending on their type that they indicate, they can make it so more Pokemon of said type can spawn. However, if you find a box that's green, what that will do is that will increase the shiny odds for that specific type. It's still not guaranteed, but it is neat to remember. Like, that was a Porygon Z statue, which is alright. I mean, the Pokemon I'm looking for are not normal types anyway. And what those statues do, as I mentioned, is it increases the spawn rate for specific Pokemon in the underground. Yes, the underground here has been expanded to have pockets of wild Pokemon that are normally not obtainable in the normal Sinnoh decks. This was their compromise, but it still bothers me that it had to come to this. Nothing there. Can't seem to find this other thing. Oh well. If you see the crack at the top of the screen, that indicates how long you can dig before the wall collapses and then you can't use it anymore. Two normal boxes, eh? Now, the treasures down here can range from those treasure boxes, as you saw, with the statues. Evolutionary stones can be found down here, as can fossils and certain held items. Case in point, here's a leaf stone. Now these spheres here, they can be traded for certain items that you can only find down here. But you have to find the hikers. Also, these are kinda useless in this game, which really bothers me, because there are no move tutors. That is a red shard. Shards had a bigger purpose in Platinum with the move tutors. Unfortunately, because the move tutors do not exist. Oh yeah, that's another thing I'll point out. Occasionally, as you run along the corridors, you'll run across from Diglett and Dugtrio. What they do is they leave a little piece of treasure behind that makes it so it increases the rarity encounter rate and the shiny encounter rate. If you get 40 altogether. It's not really that hard, it's just a little time consuming. Now, what I mean by downgrading secret bases, the only purpose they serve is putting statues in them. Which is a shame because back then, you could decorate them however you wanted. If you wanted to turn them into like your own private living room or something like that, you totally could. But unfortunately, due to all the cut corners, no such thing is possible. And then if the dig spots disappear, don't sweat it. Just go into one of these big rooms. And then whenever you come out, they'll respawn for you. Now, these rooms all have different art styles. This being called Fountain Spring Cave, like here's Lickitung and Gastrodon. Wow, that's kind of crazy for this early in the game. But this is how you compromise and find Pokemon that you normally would not be able to. Or at least earlier than you would be able to. I love this concept a lot. They didn't have to do that. Also, you will find random NPCs. Just talk with them. They count towards the people that you have to meet in order to find Spiritomb. I'll be spending a lot of time down here off screen because we're also going to look for our team members while down here as well. We have 3 of the ones that we want, but there are 3 more that we obviously need to look for. 2 of them we're going to find down here. So the last bit of the stream is just going to be me digging around down here, seeing what I can find. Also, because this is Sinnoh, yes, any Sinnoh evolution is accessible. However, some Pokemon you will not be able to evolve until the post-game. That is one thing that exponentially bothers me. But, oh well. So if you want a Gliscor, yeah, you're going to have to wait. Ooh, there's a fossil here. So because I'm playing Shining Pearl, I will always find the armor fossil until you get to the post-game. This is, alright. This is how you obtain the Pokemon Shieldon, the opposite of the Pokemon that Rourke used, Cranidos. Now, because I'm playing Shining Pearl, I will only find those. I will not find Skull Fossils. Making Cranidos under most circumstances unobtainable in this game. However, you know, there's ways to do it. Also, hikers do not count. But this guy, as I mentioned, if you have these spheres, look at some of the stuff you can get. The pedestals are whatever. But, like, this guy sells TMs. Thunder Wave is not a bad one. But everything else is kind of meh. But yeah, the hikers still, to this day, do not count as NPCs in the underground that you can talk to. They didn't in the original either. But at least they made it a little bit simpler this time around to get talk to 32 different people. Whereas before you would have to kind of metagame it to where you would have to talk to the same person 32 times, which is tedious and a bit boring. So along with berry farming and a couple of daily events as we move on, I will be exploring down here trying to get some treasures as well. Because this is going to be instrumental in finding moves that we want and getting Pokemon that we want. Poison box, eh? You know, there is one poison type I might take for a spin this time around. I've never done it before. And yes, it is obtainable down here. You can get it far earlier in the game than you're supposed to. That's another thing I like about this. Another thing too is that they give you access to yet 2 different fire types that you would not have been able to get otherwise. Those being Magmar and Houndoom. No, you don't find Houndour down here, unfortunately. I don't know why they did it that way. But another thing I want to point out is, yes, this place is expansive. And there are multiple areas within it. The most common area, which is where we are, is going to have the biggest berth. Weasels, Gastrodon, Bidoof, meh. Also, I believe these Pokemon level with you. So they'll be equal to the strongest level Pokemon in your party. And once it gets to level... Until it gets to level 70. Then they stay there. But still. A Dragon Box, eh? Too bad there's not a lot of dragon types in the game. At least until the post-game. You're going to be hearing me say that a lot. In the post-game, you're going to be hearing me say that a lot. Because that's one thing that really bothers me about this game. Blocking certain things behind the post-game is a low blow. I'm not going to lie. What's this box? Altaria. Oh yeah, that's right. That's one of the dragon types in this game. It's just one thing that also bothers me is there's no more traps. And that was half the fun. Figuring out how to spell those. Geodude, Badoo, Zubat, Anything too interesting, Zubat. There's Houndoom. Oh yeah, sometimes you will find items or TMs in those caverns, so they're worth exploring and checking every nook and cranny possible. Pale Sphere. Those are a little rare. Okay, let's go over here. Nothing. 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 Well. Ah, there it is. Oh yes, this is also another good way to farm heart scales. Heart scales have a chance of appearing down here. There's another way to do it, but this is probably one of the more consistent ways to find them. For things, eh? Gotta be careful. The box here. Dark box. Not bad. Dark's one of my favorite types. Ah, speaking of heart scales. Unfortunately, move relearning is not free in this game. They would not permanently do that until Gen 8 proper. It's a fighting box. Oh yeah, that last box being Weavile. Dual types actually do come into play. So, Medicham here is also a dual type. So, depending on how many statues you put in your secret base after you make one, will determine what type of Pokemon spawns more often. And some of the hikers will just heal you. Some of them trade stuff, some of them heal. Now, to my knowledge, the hikers do not move. So, if you remember where they are, like you can remember where this one hiker is that'll help you out. Here's a Prism Spear. I think the resting hikers move, but the treasure traders do not. So it's good to make a note of where the trading hikers are. Eh. Spheres are alright, but, you know, they're good for one reason alone. Also, I do not think you can bury spheres in this game. They're just put in, like, their own compartment or something like that. And that's another thing I do appreciate about this remake, is that there's no item limit. You can just dig until your heart's content. You would have to send up your items that you dig up that are not spheres, essentially. And you had only so much room. I found all I could in this vein. Listen, man, I'm talking like I'm playing Minecraft. Spacious cave. More water and electric types. Machop. No. There is a specific type of cave that I am looking for. It's one full of crystals. Now, typically, those are a bit rarer in this part of the underground, but can still happen. That's all I got out of that, but hey. Okay, what kind of cave is this? Rocky cave. Okay. That is the Pokemon that I was talking about. Scorpy. I have never used Scorpy because I've never gotten it this early in the game. I might actually do it, because this thing is actually decently good. A bit of a menace. It goes from a stereotypical bug poison type to a poison dark type, which is very unique. Kind of. Because it's done twice in this game. But this is the better option of the two. Poison Dark is actually a good type, too. It only has one weakness. Ground. Making this thing a pretty decent tank. It hits hard, and it can take hits, having only one weakness. Ah. Ooh, and it has toxic spikes. Oh yeah, here's another thing too about the Pokemon in the underground here. They can have egg moves. Meaning they can know moves that they can only learn via breeding. I love this concept. Do I have access to my boxes down here, though? Yes. Okay. Were you worth it? Bold. Not really, no. No, you weren't really worth it. Oh well, we could try again. There's another one here. I actually learned something very interesting about toxic spikes, by the way. If you send out a poison type, not only are they immune to it, they disappear. The toxic spikes just go away. I did not know that. Ah. Oh well. And of course, flying types and Pokemon with Levitate are immune to it. Because they don't touch the ground. Oh, there's an item here. TM4 Calm Mind. Ooh, not bad. See, Geodude, 2 Onyxes. Okay. Well, if we have to sell in that Scorpie, that's fine. Oh, there's another kid down here. I'm Seamus! Tell me something, fella. Eddie, I'm hurt. It's me, your old friend, Seamus McScrew yourself. Another poison box, which, if I want to spawn more Scorpie, that's not a bad thing. Oh, I've never seen this before. This is light clay. Interesting. What that does is it doubles the length of moves like Reflect and Light Screen. I believe it works for Aurora Veil too, but I may be wrong on that. I think it's more. I think Aurora Veil is more determinant on how long the snow or hail lasts, depending on the game. There's a Prism Sphere here. Where could the other item be? Ah, found it. Might be too late. Yep. Shame that you don't add Diglett or Dugtrio to your Pokedex when you see them, though. Also, it's like, I know where I want to go, but every now and then it doesn't hurt to veer off the beaten path and see if you can find an NPC down here. Or another Diglett or Dugtrio. Psychic box. That ain't bad. Just in time. How fitting. Of course. Yes. You can also find the elemental plates down here as well. It's just, I really wish you didn't, because there's some lore involved with those plates, and the fact that you just find them down here, you'll never know what lore they talk about. All those do is raise the specific type by move by 1.2%. It's okay. 1.2 times, sorry. Oh yes, that's another thing. Milotic and Phoebus are back to their old roots, where they only appear in a specific set of tiles. And it's predetermined every time you open up a game. Volcanic Cave, eh? What are you doing here? I mean, I'm not complaining, but what are you doing here? Oh dear, this thing has Whirlwind. That could be a problem. Ah. Poison Fang's a very cheeky move. What it does is it makes it so not only does it do damage, but it has a chance to toxic poison your opponent. Not going to carry the Zubat because overlap. Okay, let's see if this one was worth it. Ooh, yes it was. That is, it likes to fight, which means it has an IV and attack. And Jolly is plus speed minus special attack. Yep, I'm keeping this one. Ah! Sometimes there's no avoiding the Pokemon, unfortunately. Despite all your best efforts. Blue Shard. Yeah, the only purpose that the shards have in this game are, like in the original, you can trade, I think, 10 of each. You can trade 10 of each to get one of the weather TMs, which is very underwhelming. Wow, where's their other items? My word. Well, only found one thing in that. But yeah, that's a huge downgrade from what they do in Platinum. Which is, you redeem them at a move tutor and then you can learn a certain move that you wouldn't be able to learn otherwise. Such as the Elemental Punches. This is why the idea of faithful remakes bothers me. Which is why whatever they decide to do with Unova, if they do a remake, do not let Ilka touch it. Although, I guess black and white wouldn't be the worst case scenario because at least it has a good story. So, never mind. I retract the statement. But I hope they don't do a remake. I hope they like make either a prequel or a sequel. A Legends game would be fantastic because then we could see the true form of Kyurem, like what it once looked like. I mean, they tease it in so many fan games. It's like, what did it truly look like? Come on, Game Freak. You know we're dying to know. It's another normal one, so eh. Oh yeah, I think regardless of biomes, Chansey have a chance to spawn in them. It's not high, but they can. Alright, what we got here? Another spacious cave, there's a Shinx, Zubat, Geodude, Neri, Machop, Kricketot, well that's the Kricketot. Zubat. How fitting for Zubat to be in caves, am I right? Wow, I'm not finding anything. Ah, here we go. Oh yeah, there's a chance you might... No, wait, those are yellow shorts. Never mind. But I might as well just finish the tangent. There is a chance that you'll find revives down here, too. For whatever reason. Yeah, I wasn't finding much in there. Yeah, I wasn't going to get that. But that was a steel one. I would love to use fossil Pokemon in a playthrough, trust me. But they've always been either meh or just not good to begin with. Because while Shieldon isn't bad, it's more defensive than offensive, and I'm not really about that, although it's a good user of Metal Burst. Also, its typing is not very helpful. It's Rock Steel, which has 2 quad weaknesses. Plus, while its physical defense is good, like Aggron, its special defense is not. Alright. This was a rock type one. How fitting. Geodude. Bam, 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 bam. Another NPC. Also, you can tell that all the budget that this game had went into this mode alone. All the money and the dev time went into this mode. Which is a shame because it should not be like this. This is why a lot of people agree that Platinum is the definitive Sinnoh experience. Although I could never get my one friend to play them because he hated how long-winded the conversations were in the beginning of the game. It's like, okay, I get it, but at the same time, really? You could not get past that, and that was your hang-up for never playing these games. I don't know. I just never liked that. Sandseer Cave. Okay, here's an example where we have a fusion here. Where it's both desert-like, but it's also a lot of lava. Ooh, Rhyhorn. That's interesting. Charcoal, how fitting. Well, I would like to have a Rhyhorn. Unfortunately, in order to get Rhyperior, post-game. Ah, here's the cave I was looking for. Okay. This is called the Dazzling Cave. As its name suggests, there are ghost type and psychic types that spawn in here. Ghastly is the common one, which, you know, getting Ghastly this early in the game is pretty cool too. It's just, Trade Evos are kind of off the table. There's Mischievous. But again, I don't think you get a Dust Stone until the end, until the post-game. But, yeah, we're going to go back up. So it's in this far corner. So we're going to have to keep a note of that. Alright, so, that being said, we have secured... Now, I know a lot of my Pokemon are physical attackers, that's going to change. The water type will be a special attacker eventually, and Luxray is a mixed attacker, so I can use it for either. So, we are going to save, and we're going to call it quits for the night. So... until next time, I'll see you then. Same time, same place. We may actually have the final team, one of the final team members here as well. So until next time, Reinokake33 signing off.